right, so let's get into the last training event
Final FTX.
of basic
FTX,
training. Yeah, so the final FTX.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that went to basic with us, I want to hear their. I want like I
Their
want,
version.
Yeah, so definitely comment or reach out or something because I want to hear what y'all think about this because we all went through that shit.
So what was your like final training event? Your FTX or culminating event? I don't know.
I mean, again, I think ours is a little lighter because we're tankers, but still that basic soldier, as in putting up your tent with your battle buddy,
Okay.
your shelter halves, which we had to use.
Yeah.
Dig a foxhole. We actually had patrol, those things like that, quick little map things, and we had a simulated firefight. One platoon would ambush, the other one would
Okay,
patrol
so pretty
through.
similar.
Pretty similar, yeah.
Because you know what? It's 3 platoons. Right?
Yeah.
So each platoon rotates onto a different.
Right, the guard duty at night. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yep.
oh fuck, trying to stay awake. But the drill instructors, I stayed awake because they were walking around.
Oh
yeah.
Because you're not the final FTX. I mean, they're out there with you.
Yeah,
like,
they're out there.
They have nothing else better to do in the sense of like, you're not back in the bay where they're rotating off or they got their phones or they're taking breaks or whatever.
Right.
Like, they are out there with you, sleeping in a tent too. So they're like, get in their ass.
Fuck these guys.
I mean, I don't know if they were just sitting over there like, I'm fucking bored. You want to go fuck with these guys or what? But yeah, like, they're out there with you, so it's like a full on. So the only thing I'll say is for our final FTX, we had guys that were going to go be drill sergeants. So, right, like we had
the
Sykes
and the Shadows.
There's a couple of dudes that they were going to. They were either going to the drill sergeant academy or just finished it. I don't really fucking know, but they didn't wear the round browns. They wore the regular caps like Sykes and them. But they were
drill
out
sergeant
there.
Shadows is what we called them.
Yeah, they were out there with us.
Right.
So, the drill sergeants are teaching them because it's either they're going to the academy or they just got out of the academy, so they're not like ready to be on the trail.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're out there with us. So you've got a bunch of them walking around. You got all the drill sergeants from all the platoons. Everybody is one little like segregated portion.
Yeah.
So what I remember is 3 different platoons. You had 3 different tasks. Like you either had guard or you were on patrol or you were doing something. Op 4.
Yeah.
But this is one of the you work with other drill sergeants. Don't get me wrong, but this is one of the times that each different portion has a different drill sergeant. And that drill sergeant might not be from your platoon.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get to. Is like, and then they've got someone shadowing them. So like, now you got this other guy that's supposed to be treated like a drill sergeant, but he's not your drill sergeant. There's a lot going on in that last event. So I was just wondering what.
We didn't have none of that. It was just our regular drill instructors out there.
Doing their thing,
yeah.
Yeah, so did you set up tents?
Set up tents, yeah.
So ours was like make a makeshift fob, right? Like we had, it's like already, was it already?
It was fenced in, but we had to set up the big tents, the canopy tents on the tank.
But like the fob thing was already fenced off, right?
Yeah, it was already a big giant fence. It was a chain link fence.
We didn't have that. It was like if we were setting up like Vietnam, like for the night. Here.
Like we still pulled guard and like we still did dismount, but I think it's probably for training purposes, like in the sense of like nobody can leave,
Yeah.
But I remember there was an entrance coming in from like where we got dropped off, and then there's an entrance.
Yeah, there was 3 sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an entrance where you go out to the woods to do the dismount. So they really try to treat it like what a fob
would be like again, preparing you for what America was doing at that time.
But we did have to set up the tents that we never really slept in.
No.
But we had to set up the tents and stuff like that. And then in each corner they had like a gun truck or a guard position set up that you had to go full guard in.
So there's different, yeah. That was like
But that's the end. That for us, that was the last.
That was it for us. It was
Yeah, that's the
pretty
last
much-
thing
Yeah,
we're
we were
doing.
like whenever we started, so that was a week long. So we were 2 weeks from graduating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Because after
turning
that, it
shit
was
in
cleaning up TA 50, and
Yep.
you know,
But this was like
great.
the last event you have to pass.
Yeah.
Which really, I mean, there's no like really graded task in the sense of like,
No, it's basically just having your ass out there.
yeah, just do it.
except for the
Yeah.
ruck back, the 20K.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to do. So we actually had to ruck back from. So like we packed everything up, put it away, and then you grab your ruck, grab your shit.
That was us. That was the.
And then you got to walk back.
But
Yeah.
then you
The
walk
final
back.
long ass
Yeah.
horrible ruck.
Yeah, but I will say that final FTX, like, that's what I was talking about earlier in the videos about when we were talking about. That's where we did the Bradley night drive. That's where we did the Humvee night drive. You did dismounted patrols. You had op 4. I mean, you pulled guard. You did all that, and that's what I was saying. It was so like in each corner they had a guard position set up. So if you weren't there's 3 platoons, they're all 3 rotating through different cycles, different
going through the different basic stages. I guess kind of.
So like for this day or for 2 days, this group, this platoon is doing dismounted patrol. This one's doing fob security. This one's doing op 4.
So it really wasn't like with our wasn't something like you're graded pass fail. It was just going through it.
Yeah, you just got to do it.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Whoever was out on like the dismounted patrols, we would actually sleep out in the woods for however many days, two nights or whatever, and set up our own little circle.
Yeah, like your 360.
That was basically. I mean, that's basically all we did was bivouac and.
I will say we set up the tents. They made us set up cots. You put your shit in there, but I don't ever. I don't ever.
On the ground.
Well, this was like to simulate
a fob,
like a fob in Afghanistan or Iraq.
What you were getting ready.
But they didn't let you stay in there. Like
no, there was one day when we got to hang out in there.
What it is, they probably got to sleep in there.
Yeah, so like when you come in that first entrance, you have like the drill sergeant tent.
Okay.
So they had the same tent as we did, but that's where they had like the radio set up. I guess probably to talk to troop commander and first sergeant or whatever. Which they didn't need that, but I think it's just like to simulate. And they've got, their cots in there. And I know they rotated as well. So like I think one drill sergeant from each platoon had to be out there at all times.
Yeah.
And but during the day they were all out there, but at night I think that's when they did their rotations. But we all had the tent set up. Each platoon had I think there was like 6 tents, so it's probably half the platoon in each tent.
Yeah, too.
Okay.
But I don't remember being in there very long. The one day, like you said, we did.
We'll talk about it.
We got to be in there, but you did a lot of shit. You were
Right.
constantly going, constantly moving. But I don't even remember most of the tasks. And what I remember is the drill sergeants, like they made us run around the tents
Just
with
absolutely.
our pro mask on. They made us fight for chow.
Yeah.
So they set up, they bring in hot food, they bring in mermites, and they make us all line up in a line, and they make us sprint like 100 meters or whatever. And
it was from the fence line.
Yeah,
So it was almost like a little hazy.
Yeah.
So the extent of this entire day was it went far past hazing.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare. So it started out during the day because our basic punishment, like if something messed up, then we'd run a lap around the tents.
Right.
On the inside.
In pro mask.
Yeah.
In pro mask and all our gear and weapons and everything. I just had me and I think Parker and a couple of us were carrying 240s. And what I remember is I don't remember like what the cause of us doing it this time was, but we were running around because we were in trouble, and one of the guys had said something like, don't worry about running fast. It don't matter how fast you run. We're going to have to do it anyway. But our drill sergeants heard that. And then it just, from that point, for the rest of the day and night, turned into one of the worst experiences I've ever had to go through in my life.
So what they would do at chow was like the whole platoon would line up.
Yeah.
And they'd say sprint from this point to the mermites.
Right.
The first 10 got to eat.
Yeah. And there's
so they were proving the point of, you can sit here and say it doesn't matter how fast you run. we're gonna have to do it anyways. So now it is.
Now there's a purpose behind it.
Yeah, so the first 10 that make it across the line get to eat, and the rest of you get to run again.
Yeah.
And they did that all the way. So there's like 100 dudes running
all the way through the night to breakfast chow.
Yeah.
Wow.
To get to eat. So you did have incentive to do it. But yeah, so that whole event, man, was just insane. But I remember specifically one night, you're the platoon that's on guard or whatever, so we're all out at our little guard positions. And I was in a gun truck with a couple dudes like pulling guard, and I remember I was on the driver's side. Like, there's only so much room for everybody to sit in a gun truck. So like, I'm standing outside, like talking to the guy that's in the driver's seat, and then I'm like just staring off, doing what any fucking basic training private would do. I'm like staring off in the woods, and then on the passenger side, I hear the fucking like door open, and someone just starts screaming, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
I remember that because I was on the opposite side, and we like all of us in our truck were just like, "What the fuck is going on over there?"
Yeah, because like I said, there's 4 corners, and each corner there's a guard position.
Yeah.
I'm like standing on the driver's side, like staring off in the woods, doing my thing, whatever. I really should have been paying attention to what's going on in my truck.
It's like 1:00 in the morning at this point.
Yeah.
So I hear the door open, I hear someone start screaming. I look up at the gunner. I don't even remember who was in the gun. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? He's like, oh, drill sergeant screaming at somebody. And it wasn't a drill sergeant, it was a shadow drill.
Yeah.
And he had this real thick country accent.
Yeah.
So this dude who you're talking about, he was squirrely as shit. Like, kind of shorter, skinny, but like anytime he was yelling for any reason, he was jumping and fucking doing backflips and just like pointing and screaming. Really weird.
Yeah. Like Larry the Cable Guy, but on crack.
Yeah.
Like, no joke.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I remember it's seared into my brain. All 4 of them racked the fuck out. And I was like, what the fuck? So, dude, I don't know if he thought he hit the fucking gold mine. So, like he goes over the drill sergeant tent, pulls the whole gun truck out, right? Everybody is on guard. There's like 6 of us at this one truck. But there's 4 people in the truck. And they were all asleep.
Yeah.
You got one guy on the gun, you got me and like somebody else, I think, on the ground. And he pulled us all over there. So 4 in the truck, 1 in the gun, and me on the ground. So it's like all 4 of them racked the fuck out. And I was like, oh my God, dude, we're not all even asleep. The gunner and I are talking. Like, we just didn't see you sneak up over there,
Yeah.
So they brought us out in front of like Drill Sergeant Patterson, like all the other drills. And he's like, oh, I caught them all fucking sleeping. They all were asleep. And, and I'm like, dude, we weren't all asleep. Like, 4 out of the 6, yes.
Yeah.
But dude, he is going in, and that's when they went and got the whole platoon.
Holy shit!
Put us all in formation and started fucking us up. But I think that was the first time the drill sergeants, and I even talked to Drill Sergeant Patterson about this. This was the first time he saw the platoon like rebel. Like we started like bucking the system.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta remember they fucked us up all week.
Right.
And this was like the last night, and this one dude that hasn't even been with us all cycle, that's now a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Like caught us all sleeping. So like they'd be like front line rest position move, and you'd hear everybody just like, because we knew the most disrespectful thing is to slam the rifle on the ground.
Yeah.
So we'd all just like slam our rifles on the ground, and they were doing the whole like they have ways around like the standards, right? We can only make them do 10 push-ups, and then we got to change exercises.
Right.
But they had a way around that, and all they would do is they would put you in different positions. So they'd be like, front line rest position, move. The half jack, move. So now you're going from the ground and the push-up to like the jumping jack. Yeah. And then they'd be like the 8-count push-up. Then they'd be like the row or whatever. So all they would do is just change positions.
Down. Right.
As soon as you got in the ready position, they'd change to the next one. And that right there will smoke you more than doing the actual exercise.
Yes.
Because then you're on your back, you're on your belly. It's really like on your back, on your belly, on your feet.
Right.
That's really what it really responded.
It got to the point we were hit, like, I think it was Drill Sergeant. I remember, it was Drill Sergeant Cahill. He was like, the push up, the sit up, the push up, the sit up, just like that.
Yeah.
And so we're all just like rolling. We're just rolling around because we're in full body armor. We're wearing like weapons, everything else. So we're just literally rolling. He's like, oh, you won't fucking do it right, okay? And then it starts going into like ups and downs and sides and to sides. But
the whole platoon was like rebelling because we were just like,
who the fuck is this guy? You know?
Yeah. So when he was like, I remember they had us all in formation, like the front line rest position moved, and everybody just went boom, and just like slammed our rifles on the ground, and they were like, "You motherfuckers!"
Yeah,
yeah.
And then
you want to fucking you want me man, huh?
we opened up a can of worms.
They were like, "You want to talk about mama?"
Yeah.
Like, oh
shit.
Yeah.
But dude, so they're fucking us up, and the commander and the first line showed up. This is how bad it got.
Well, and mind you, this was hours later.
Yeah,
Right.
like, so we've been doing this for a long.
Yeah.
Well, and what they would do is they would do that, and then they'd be like, go to bed. So but we had to get undressed. We had to take our boots off. We had to do everything, and so we would finally get undressed, get under the blankets, 5 minutes, get the fuck back out here, and it all starts over again.
Wow.
And we did that for probably like 4 hours.
So the first sergeant commander, somebody, cadre, someone
had said something.
Said something to the first sergeant commander. So they show up.
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Literally 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. They show up, and dude, they chewed out the drill sergeants, right?
Yeah, they sent us all back to our tents first, and we
they
listened while
reamed them. I heard First Sergeant Rich, which like I said later, became my command sergeant major.
Yeah.
I heard that motherfucker reaming them dudes.
Yeah.
And we were all like snuggled up in our beds, like
fuck all
bitches,
Yeah.
That's what you fucking get.
They went a little overboard.
Dude, as soon as First Sergeant Commander left, first platoon or third platoon in formation, we thought we were getting an apology. We were like, oh, First Sergeant Commander came out here and set you straight.
Yeah.
So we're all standing in formation, these fucking smirks on our face, and they were like, do you think a fucking first sergeant and commander coming out here yelling at us is going to stop what we're fucking doing? No. Front line rest position, fucking move.
Yeah.
No.
And it was worse after that.
They were all up. They were all out
Yeah.
there. All the drill sergeants were out there. Just, dude, hammering ass.
Yeah.
Like
we're throwing up. We're fucking screaming in pain. We had guys are shitting their pants literally.
Yeah.
Like, because they just can't control it anymore.
Right.
And we're like, dude.
So they went in on us, and it was like they were proving a point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just because first sergeant commander came out here and saved you,
it
doesn't mean
for
that
20
it's
minutes.
over.
Yeah.
They were all willing to risk their badges, their rank, their hats.
Yeah.
They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They literally. And I remember I talked to a couple of dudes from other platoons afterwards, and they were like, because they didn't get fucked with it. It wasn't the whole troop.
It was just us.
It was just their platoon.
Really?
Just us.
Because we made the problem.
Yeah.
But every drill sergeant in the troop was taking care of the problem.
Yeah.
And and I remember
they were doing an excellent job of taking care of the problem.
I remember Patterson and them saying, like, don't get complacent just because you fucking think it's over.
Yeah.
And when I talked to Patterson about it later, and I talked to a couple of them later, they were like, yeah, we did get fucking wild with you, but the whole point was, like, don't get complacent or you get killed.
Yeah.
And they were proving a point that, like, just because you think something has stopped doesn't mean it's over.
Right.
Like, the fight continues on. Shit can still get bad. Things
Right.
can still blow up in your face.
Yeah.
Guns can still kill people. Like, so yeah, I think they were pissed off. I think they took a lot of aggression out, but at the same time, I think they were teaching us a lesson in the sense of, like, don't get cocky, don't get complacent, or you'll get your shit pushed in.
So from probably about 1 o'clock in the morning until breakfast chow, about 7, when it was starting to get light out. Breakfast chow was when it ended because the truck rolled up.
Yeah.
And we had to do. They PT'd us until breakfast was set up and ready to be served.
And then they let every platoon eat before us.
Yeah, then all the other platoons ate while we were getting smoked, and then when it was our turn, they made us do that run, and then every 10 more until we'd have to go to the fence, and this is probably like 200 yards, and sprint, and then first 10 go eat, everybody back. Next 10 go eat, everybody back.
Fuck, because I don't run fast.
Yeah, but that
and
so
they locked
that
us all in the
night,
bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the commander and first sergeant came back out and it said something, and like they told us all to go into our bunks and like go to fucking sleep. Our commander and first sergeant did. Well, whenever they got done talking about whatever, it was like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning at this point, and Drill Sergeant Riley walks in, and statute of limitations. he walks in and wakes us all up, and he says, "If any of you ever fucking talk about what we did tonight, I'll make sure that you get kicked out of the Army and never find a job again." And then walks the fuck out.
Then at noon that day, they locked us all in a bathroom.
Really?
Yeah.
Through,
So they had told us that because of that, like the other platoons were going to do their normal daily training, but we were going to stay in the tent and just recover from what happened that night. So we were going to relax, eat food, hang out, whatever. So we're all stoked. And then I'll let you continue.
Yeah, well, then after that, they started throwing smoke grenades like in the tent.
Yeah.
So you had to react. The smoke grenades or CS gas, so you had to react to, like chemical warfare, put your gas mask on or whatever. And then I guess when that got boring, they're like, privates, we're going to play a game. We're going to see how many of you we can fit into the latrine.
Yeah.
Because, they have one of those, like, hard stand, like, it's a porta-john, but
it's like a campground
but it's blocked in.
Yeah.
So they packed it as full as they could. And they were like, how many we got? They were literally like,
it was like 2/3 of us.
They were like, oh, it's a game. We're trying to see how many we can get in here. Like, get close, probably. Like, they're laughing with us and joking with us.
Yeah.
And we're all like, oh, yeah, like, they just want to see how many they can get in here.
Yeah,
like,
okay. No biggie.
So we're all in there, like, just like crammed as packed. Like, dude's standing on the toilets. Dude's just like,
yeah.
And then the door shuts. And we were like,
and they all barricade the door.
We were like, what the fuck is happening? So they shut the door. All the other drill sergeants pile on the door, and then they open the back window is open, so they start popping smoke grenades and throwing them in through the back window.
Yeah.
And they're like, gas, motherfuckers. No, and like, we all can't move. We're all like,
yeah, like just trying to slide, trying to do something, can't fucking move. We're trying to push out the doors.
Yeah.
Can't get out the fucking door because there's like 8 cadre out there fucking holding the door closed.
But I will say, after they let us out and everything's over, after all that, they're like, it was kind of like, we went through a lot of shit in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
You guys were some bitches, and you guys were some men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were some bitches, we were some men,
Yeah.
There was a lot of, like, you guys, like, butted against us, we butted against there was a lot of turmoil, but at the end of all of it, they were like, let's fuck up the other platoons.
Yeah.
And we were all like,
let's fucking do it.
Yes. It was like they forged us in this, like, crazy ass fire to, like, bond us with them.
Yeah.
And like, steal their guidons, destroy their shit, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
So,
steal
like,
it, wreck it, fucking hide shit, whatever.
So, I think for us, being punished more than any other platoon.
You're ready to take it out on somebody else.
Dude, for the
whole, they're all laughing and fucking making fun of us.
And they're not having to do shit. Like, they're sleeping at night, they're doing whatever. So for like this whole week, we've been getting thrashed. And like the last day, our drill sergeants were just like, you see them, like, they didn't have to do this, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Take their guide on, destroy their shit, flip their bunks, do it. So when they were all out doing their shit, they were like, just go fucking crazy. The only thing I can think of is like Major Payne, when they go in, they steal the trophy. That's kind of how I felt.
Exactly
in
what
the sense of like, they're like, go fuck their shit up, take their shit.
Yeah.
So dude, we're like, like one platoon's on guard, one platoon's like doing patrol, and we're just like fucking their shit up, stealing guidons, like just belligerent.
Yeah.
Just crazy. And I think they did that for us in the sense of like they knew we needed
something.
We needed like a release. We needed something to like.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think it bonded all of us.
Oh yeah. Well, and the cool thing is right before, like when he's like, you guys want to go fuck some shit up? We're like, yeah.
Oh, that's what it was, because we cycled on to Op 4.
Yeah.
So at the end of this whole week of getting fucked up,
you guys ended up
now we're the bad guys.
Right.
Yep. And so Drill Sergeant Patterson's like, look, if you guys can fucking take their guide on and wreck all their shit and get out of there, pizza party.
And
we're like, no way.
So me and you stole the guide on.
Yep, we did, and we took off into the woods. Like, we were gone, dude. We crossed the main road, out the gates, everything.
So this is when we had to ambush the back entrance out to the woods.
It was a perfect plan, dude.
Overtake that guard position, and then don't fight the other guard positions. Just go straight into the tents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So half of us were on the opposite side. The other half were waiting because they were a diversion to draw the attention. that way. And so the rest of us were over here. As soon as they were all turned the other way, we didn't shoot. We just ran.
So what they did is we split up. They attacked the main gate, went in, had everybody like distracted. Like he said, we overtook the back guard position, and we all had miles gear. So like
right.
Laser tag.
If your thing goes off, you gotta go.
You're dead.
That's when I got taught about taking the batteries out.
We just
loosen the battery cap. Your shit won't.
So we always had the shaved key.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So Drill Sergeant Raleigh, I think, was the one that taught us how to.
Yeah, he's like
unloosen the cap. Your shit won't work. So we overtook the main. We shot all of them. Their shit's like dinging.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember one guy like point blank shooting me, and I'm like, wow, man. And they're all like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But we've got, dude, there's like smoke grenades and fucking
shit going everywhere.
Bombs, shit just going crazy.
So we overtook that position, and then like we just all ran into the tents.
Yeah.
And we started using the tents to hop between, to cover as much ground, so that way they can't shoot you.
Yep. And we kicked their tents down, like the big tents.
Yeah, you
had
kicked
the
out
big metal supports. We fucking kicked those bitches down and
flipping
collapsed
bombs,
their tents.
everything the whole way through. And then at the end was all 3 guidons.
Yep.
So when we came out the back, I grabbed, I think, first platoons. I think, didn't you grab seconds?
So no, you grabbed first platoons. I think Parker grabbed seconds, but I took off following with you, trying to guard you, and you tripped and fell.
Oh yeah.
You tripped and fell, and like it split in half.
And then you had half.
Yeah, so I picked up the flag half and kept going because you're not supposed to let the flags touch the ground. So I picked it up and kept going, and then you grabbed the bottom half, and we were just taking off.
I think Parker got stopped.
Yeah, he got stopped and caught.
So me and him get across the road. We're in the other wood.
Like we're out of the training area.
I mean, dude, just taking off.
We are gone.
And the whole thing is like once the guys stopped, like the guys like couldn't get us. The drill sergeants from that platoon were chasing us into the woods.
Yeah, they were.
And dude, they're screaming like, "Fucking stop! Fucking stop!" It was Brayhoon.
Yeah.
It was Drill Sergeant Brayhoon, the guy that like freaks out all the time.
Yeah.
So I remember
you're definitely not gonna stop.
We're like, you're scared running, but then all of a sudden, like we both looked at each other like, we probably should stop. He might actually like kill us out here.
Yeah.
Like this dude's fucking crazy. I watched him smoke a deer with a fucking Tinker bar.
Oh, we haven't talked about that. We'll have to talk about that in a second.
I watched the dude smoke a deer with a Tinker bar, so I was like, I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
At first, I was running like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then I was like running out of fear. Like Michael Myers was chasing me.
Yeah.
But
we heard stop, fucking stop, and we just like kept going.
I think once he entered the woods with us.
Yeah. Once he was out, like, and it was no more training. Once he was there with us.
Yeah. Like
me and him just both like bowed up. We stopped. We turned around and we looked him dead in the face. And he was like, "Give me that shit." Like puts it together or whatever.
Then he was cool.
And then he was like, "Good job, but fuck you." Or
yeah.
whatever.
He was like, "Fuck you, good shit."
Yeah, and then he just walked off.
And then he just walks away. He
and
says,
just left us out there in the woods, and we were like,
yeah. We start walking back out, and everybody's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah," and we're just like, "Yeah," and we're like, "Fuck yeah."
So then, Patterson came through, and he once we completed our 12-mile, we got
it was like 3 days before graduation.
Yeah. Like we thought we weren't getting it because like we did the ruck back.
Yeah.
And
they're fucking us again on this one. Yeah.
That was like an incentive to get us to fuck down their people.
This fucking ruck back, man.
The ruck back was miserable. And you step off when the sun's going down.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had to do. I don't know what yours during the day or at
I think
night.
it's during the day when we're making our way back.
So they made us step off in the afternoon, and then they were doing a bunch of controlled burns too on Benning.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
So we walked.
In fact, I think ours on the way back started raining.
Shit.
Oh, see, like
the
rain or the smoke, I think is like
awful,
just fucking miserable.
Overall,
I would hate the smoke
probably the
more.
rain, because you'd be heavier
and you'd be wet.
Yeah. Oh, I was. I think I got a picture. I'm just soaked.
Yeah.
Camel all over my face.
Yeah.
But they made us ruck back, and I know you went through knots, so you did the 3 hills.
Yeah, and I'm sure Benny has theirs. Yeah.
But that's the thing. We got a lot of flack for being Cav Scouts that went through Benning because we didn't do.
I don't see why.
Yeah,
or the agony, misery, and heartbreak. Yeah, exactly. But you look. Let's take Band of Brothers. I mean, they were running on some rough shit then. So I'm sure Benning had it.
Dude, it was awful.
Well, you got to remember the infantry trained there.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So
I'm
we
sure
did the same
Yeah, we did
12-mile that course that they did.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sure you guys had
It was
your
bad.
obstacles.
I do
to
remember
conquer.
at one point, like walking up a hill, looking like at my fucking toes, like
Yeah, and then you're going up, and you're looking,
You're literally
your buddy's
looking at-
ass is in your face.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Know?
It's-
Yeah.
and then you're
So I'm
coming
sure-
back down. Like,
I don't know why they knock it. I'm sure that's what I'm saying. I'm sure you normally
It's
don't
just
pick
pride.
the greatest places.
Just
Oh
pride.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
that whole thing of like,
Yeah.
well, I went through Knox, you're a bitch, you know,
Yeah.
or I went through
But
Benny, you're a
well, yeah, was that my fucking choice to close it down?
Yeah.
Well,
I had no option to where fucking scout basic
Yeah.
training was.
Yeah.
But I did. I caught a lot of flack for going through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you did have.
I'm not. I think it's stupidity personally because I think every.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Yeah.
I remember. I think of it as like it's like the frat house. You know, it's probably like, well, you didn't experience the fraternity when we were at this house because this house is different. The location,
Right? Yeah.
It's just all that whole
Yeah.
like tradition. Who went through it? Because like when I got to Carson, all my NCOs obviously had went through Knox.
Yeah.
A lot of my senior specialists had been through Knox. Like we said, we were like
one of the
a
first
couple of
cycles.
cycles
Yeah,
in.
one of the first cycles going through
there
there.
wasn't many more people that had been through Benny.
It's not like you had a choice. Hey, you want Benny or not? Benny.
So now and it's probably the same way we knock people about like, oh, you went to Jackson, you didn't go to Benning. But the difference is like.
Well, their MOS is different from what we do.
But that's the way they saw it.
Yeah, because I think everything's down there in Benny, right? I mean, armor.
So, the armor branches,
armor.
so 19 Delta, 19 Kilo, 11 Bravo, that all takes
So that's all that is down there.
Even Marine Corps tanker AIT takes place at Benning.
Really?
And they share the same barracks area.
Are you saying,
They had damn Gatorade vending machines at there, but always
because they're in AIT.
They're in AIT,
and that's all we would stare at while we were in formation under our training.
Front.
Is it? So you
got
got
the barracks, you got the overhang, you
Yeah.
see Gatorade, and you're like, I literally was thinking about like Adam Sandler, like H2O.
Gatorade.
Yeah.
But they had female drill instructors too, so we had to hear them in the chow hall.
But yeah,
and they've got something to prove.
They do.
Oh
They're bitchy.
So we start getting ready for the ruck, and they're like, your bag has to weigh at least this, but on top of that, pack everything else in your 2 duffel bags. Whatever you don't fit is going in your ruck, and you're carrying it. So dudes are literally like jumping on their bags, trying to make room and shove shit in there, and you're just trying to get to weight. And we find, and then all the rest of your stuff is shipped on the trucks. Was for some reason the LMTVs that had our bags rode with us, like they would just go real slow because we're in a column on either side of the road.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't you just go straight back to the fucking barracks? Whatever.
They wanted to make sure we were there.
Yeah, and so we've got and the drill sergeants are doing it with us, and a lot of guys are, and we'll see the drill sergeants rucks, and they're like flat. There's like it look, but
it's got a little bit of character.
Yeah.
But a lot
much.
of them were.
Yeah.
A lot of them had like barbell weights and stuff in there.
Yeah, we didn't realize that.
They were
They
carrying
just
like
took all their
60,
shit
70
out
pounds.
and put it like in a bag, but
Yeah.
they also put like the 45-pound weight.
They would put that shit in there so it was flat.
Yeah.
So they were weighted.
Yeah, so they were doing it with us, and we start walking, and and they didn't tell us how far. I think we knew that there was a long ruck.
Because
they don't tell
rucks
you,
building
right.
up. Like you do like a 1 miler, a 3 miler, a 6, a 10.
Yeah, and then
this is the 12.
Yeah, but they didn't tell us, so we're just we're walking. We're like, okay, well, we're just going back because the ride to that area from the barracks wasn't that long.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, probably like a 2-hour walk, whatever. And then we're walking, and we're walking, and then we're walking, and we're walking. And then
the sun's going down.
Yeah,
the
sun's down, and then the sun's been down for 2 hours, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then, we're at like our 3rd stop, and everybody's sucking, filling up our camelbacks.
Listen, I think my camelback busted.
Actually, I think it did.
I really think.
If I'm
remembering it correctly,
I think your camelback busted because you drank my entire camelback right after we stopped. He's seriously we're walking. He's like, Nolan, I'm so fucking thirsty. There's no water in my camelback, and I was like, here, have some of mine. And then we're walking, and I never realized that he never dropped my my straw, except I just kept feeling little tugs here and there, and then finally,
like a baby calf.
yeah, pretty much. And then I hear a you know,
You know what it was? Is probably my Camelback had been busted for a while.
probably.
So I probably had to drink
see-
water for a
yeah.
while.
Wow.
So
Because that was the whole thing. It was like your Camelback had to be on your back, and then you threw your ruck on.
mhm.
Right.
So if it had a leak, the ruck was squeezing
Let's
water
squeeze
out.
it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think mine busted very early on. There,
Oh,
a lot of
wow.
people had that
Yeah.
issue in the
The bad
bladder.
design of
Yeah.
that damn bladder.
And then, you know, like as you go on in your military career, you find different ways to carry different people that manufacture.
We didn't have that problem with canteens.
Yeah, they're all plastic.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's what I think mine busted very early on, and I probably
then
had
so
been
you
without
lost.
water for
Yeah.
a while.
Because I just remember you like I heard the thanks, and then I'm like yeah no problem, and then I go to grab it and take a drink, and I'm like
Nothing in there.
where's my water? Like we just stopped. We're not gonna stop for another hour, you know. And I'm like Phillips, you just drank my water. You're like I'm so sorry, man. I was just so thirsty. I was like,
You were
"Fuck,
probably dehydrated.
fuck."
like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think my shit busted very early on in the
Yeah.
run
So you've been without water
for
for
a minute.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
every stop, I can't fill it up.
Yeah,
Like,
so
I mean, it
yeah,
just
I
kinda
do
pour
remember that
out.
because every time we stopped, you'd be at the water buffalo just like slurping. You'd like kind of fill it up and then drink what you could. And,
Yeah.
So I
and that
think-
was whenever I think it was Moss left his fucking. Was it Moss that left his rifle on the water buffalo when we took off and it got ran over?
I don't know if it was mine, but I do remember
Somebody left their
their
rifle laying, and the only reason they didn't get in serious trouble is because somehow all it did was just scratch it.
Yeah, I think it's because the water buffalo probably like
It just rolled over the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah,
of it.
you
But
know,
it's
it wasn't
still a
just-
giant tank of water. This thing's
Oh,
thousands
yeah.
of pounds. But it didn't do any damage other than just scratching the paint, really.
But yeah, we did that whole ruck back, and you know, we like I said, they were doing controlled burns. So like during the day, we walked through some of the places that were burning in the smoke. But
Yeah.
what I really didn't realize is like we knew where we were when we came across this little overpass, and we were
Mhm.
like, "Oh, there's a barrier."
Yeah, we can see the
They
lights.
start,
And we
yeah.
were like, "Yes, this is it." And then
Yep.
they were like,
Left turn.
"Hard left turn,"
Oh, fuck.
and we ended up walking like a loop or something like that.
Yeah, giant up and down and back around.
And then we ended up in the woods, and they had like this big bonfire. And
Yeah, and it was
they
Oh,
were
that
like-
you guys did
to
your,
get our-
yeah.
to get
yeah.
our
So then
sabers.
they walk through and they give you your sabers
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
you know things like that. But
you got to do the
what I was talking to Joel Son Patterson about later was like the reason why we did the loop wasn't to like get us because we could have just veered left and went right into the woods. Like I'm
Right.
saying, like we veered left, went down another road, our old like PT running route, walked all the way down it, took another loop, came back up back by the barracks, and then went back around. And I was like, dude, what the fuck?
They're probably trying to get the fire started.
Well, he was saying
well, and it
that-
was I think it was more mental.
Yeah.
no, he said it was about mileage standard.
Mm.
We had only walked 11 and like 3/4 or something like that.
Oh.
So we had to do another quarter
Another
mile
quarter mile. Right.
to be a full 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, like yeah, they brought us in, and he was like, we could have like went left and went in there. Instead, we did 12.
But fuck that.
But they were like, no, you're gonna do the full.
You're
fucking
gonna
thing.
full 12.
So, yeah, that's how we ended up doing like this last little loop.
Yeah. Well, and I think honestly the worst was whenever we got done with our pinning ceremony. We're all so that was awful. That was fucking terrible. But we got our sabers. Like we're scouts now.
Yeah.
But then we had to pick our shit up and finish the walk back to the barracks.
Yeah.
Which wasn't really far. I mean, it was probably like 700-800.
But at that,
But
yeah.
it was like our bodies had kind of rested, but we really started feeling it.
Oh, yeah.
I was chafing. I had blood running down my legs.
Yeah.
I chafed so bad.
But they were like, take showers, do whatever. And I remember all of us like standing in the showers like in full uniform, just like,
trying to warm up because we were freezing
Freezing.
cold.
just
Yeah.
standing side by side like in the hot water,
Yeah.
like in full uniform.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
it was a good bonding. Like it
was.
is a good bonding. Like
It's like the when you
Experience.
suffer,
Yeah.
there is bonding.
Yep.
but it makes you think about, like I know your basic training was different. I know other basic trainings are
Mhm.
different. But when you go back to like World War II and stuff like that, a lot of those guys when they finished basic training, like their whole platoon went to the unit.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
like,
and
how
that
different would it have been?
what? It was a documentary. I think it's called "A Dear America: Letters Home from Vietnam," and the guy they read the guys' letters. But they're fishing basic training, and even their sergeant was going. They're going as a company to Vietnam.
Yeah.
So
it reminds me of like the movie like Tigerland. Like
they
where
were
they
all
finish like basic, and then they go to Tigerland.
and then they're all going to Vietnam after that.
And it's kind of like what I know we can't practice that same standard now because the war is different, the times are different.
Right.
But it's almost like what would the what's the camaraderie? Like you do get to your unit, you make camaraderie, you find new friends, you find new things. But I'm saying, what would be, like even looking at Band of Brothers, right? They went through basic training, they went through I guess Band of Brothers picks up from jump school, like they go through jump school together, then they go to England together and train up, and then they end up in. What would the difference be?
And I think that's where, like, me and my buddy JW, like I said, we were battle buddies the whole time in basic training. Then we're both like, all right, Fort Bliss, cool, both 3rd Cavalry. When I get there, he's there, we're reporting in. He goes, well, I got, G Troop. I'm like, oh, cool, hell, wait till I get out, and then we'll see. And I come out, and I go, man, G Troop, cool. So Humvee comes, picks us up, takes us. We're sitting there waiting. He comes out. I'm in 2nd platoon. I'm like, all right, man. Well, I'll get together with you later, man. I go. I'm in 2nd platoon too. So we served together a whole 4 years.
The whole time, yeah.
The whole time.
So that's kind of what I have with.
And that was that. I don't understand that, because we were together for the 16 weeks, and next thing you know, we're together 4 years.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. It was like.
And I love them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I think the camaraderie
our whole military experience, we were with each other.
Mm-hmm. And you know each other from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning.
That's kind of what I have with Parker in the sense of Parker and I went to basic, together. And then we ended up at 4th ID together, but in different brigades. And then we were in the same platoon. When my brigade collapsed, I went to his, and I ended up in the same platoon with him for like a short period of time.
Right.
And then we ended up at Campbell together in different brigades again, but still our whole military career spent together. But I was just wondering what would it be like to like your whole platoon from basic.
I know.
To continue on like the whole.
It'd be kind of cool.
And you have people too, right? Like from basic.
So there were 6 of us from basic. It was me, Schmidt, Mendez, Dennis, Eldridge, and.
So you guys all went.
Sanderson.
You guys all went 25th.
Yeah. Wow. And we were in the same company. They went. 2 of us in 1st platoon, 2 of us in 2nd, 2 of us.
Okay, but you guys were all still right there, so there was still some camaraderie.
Yeah, but there. During basic, me and Mendez.
But different. We were on different.
Never.
We didn't really, and even in Hawaii, we weren't. Me and Mendez. I mean, like we were cool. I don't hate the guy. We were just different.
Cool.
We just didn't really get along.
Socialize, yeah.
But I'm just saying, what would the difference be if like your whole platoon, we all went together to like the same.
So
that would be really neat. We can find again, because
I've always
like I said,
that.
Vietnam vet.
Yeah,
I think that's the last time I know it was done.
Yeah. So what is that like? Even if you look at like the Marine Corps, like in the Pacific, right?
Hamburger Hill.
Yeah,
those new guys are all there.
But the one guy, he's a Medal of Honor recipient, comes back, and then he ends up being a drill instructor. But
John Basilone.
Yeah, Basilone. So he comes back, but he takes the whole platoon that he trains.
Yeah.
In basic training or whatever it is, and then he takes all of them, and then they all go to combat together. Like, imagine what our experience in the military would be like.
Yeah.
With our drill sergeants.
There are some guys I wouldn't want with me.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But I know
but overall,
you're stuck with each other.
Some guys I would have wanted with me more than others.
Oh, and that's always, but
then I'm saying like your drill sergeants, like to be with you.
Yeah.
That whole time. Yeah. Yeah.
So they did. They started doing that actually in World War One.
Mm-hmm.
They called them PALS battalions, and they would make entire battalions from people from the same hometowns, people you grew up with, people you went to school with.
Really?
But it ended up being a terrible idea because these guys were getting slaughtered.
And they knew each other.
And you're watching your best friends that you knew since you were a baby getting slaughtered with each other.
Well, it's the same thing.
So
like,
it's kind of
yeah.
that's awesome. I'm
Well,
here
I
with
wasn't
you, but
talking
oh
about
my
like just
God,
the
I just
whole
watched you
town.
get cut in half or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, like, I wasn't talking about like the same hometown. I'm just saying, like,
just basic.
yeah,
Just
like
basic in general.
I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. Like, yes,
Yeah.
that sounds like a terrible idea in the
Yeah.
sense of like these are.
Yeah.
One,
But
it's really
as you
good
come
in the
together,
sense that
though,
you have
at
all
basic
your
training,
friends.
you guys all train. And
Yeah. And then move on together.
Yeah, I gotta.
But
find
it probably
that bar.
might have been kind of the same concept in like World War II and even Vietnam,
They were too
where
close.
it's just slaughter on a fucking industrial scale. So even these guys you went to basic with, you're still watching them get blown
Yeah.
away.
And
all
that's
the
kind of
time.
like,
And-
I mean, that's why in World
So
War
it's like
II
good
they
and
start
bad.
separating
Yeah.
siblings.
Yeah,
You know, things like
Yeah,
I mean, I
like-
understand like
I would rather be with you, but you're the last person I want to see get shot.
right.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I think it would be a different.
Oh, it totally would be.
And you know,
different military
and
experience.
you know, when we was overseas, and you know, because JW was on the platoon sergeant tank, and we were the platoon leaders, wingman. But yeah, I remember when it all started, I was kind of worried about him. Like,
Yeah.
God,
Because you've been with him for so long.
so long. You know, I didn't want nothing to happen to him.
Yeah.
Much as my own crew, I didn't want nothing to happen to JW.
Which
you know?
that's what I'm saying. Like it. You know, a lot of people don't get to is you just make these bonds, man. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's just insane. You know, you have but now the military's broke down into like you got your basic training guys, you got your first duty station dudes, your second or whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
hopefully
like,
you'll run into.
you've got all
somebody.
these
Yeah.
pockets of like guys that you've made buddies
Yeah.
with over time, and I was just saying, I wonder what the difference would be like taking all those guys and going to, you know, or even splitting half the platoon, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
But it sounds like you kind of got that experience in the sense of you got 6 of you
Yeah.
went to the
Yeah.
same company, the same. Because when I showed up to 4th ID, I did go there with Parker. I went there with Parker and Rock and Reeves and a couple other dudes, but we all got split up between brigades.
Yeah.
So when I showed up to my unit, I was the only guy from our basic training
Yeah.
to show up to
See, that's
2nd
got to be
Brigade.
a bit of a lonely feeling.
That's what it
like
was.
me, you know, like me, man. I had JW. you
Yeah.
know? I mean, going
So
there,
we
but-
were all like in 4th ID reception together.
Yeah, and then
We all get our orders, and like he's going to 3rd, I'm going to 2nd, he's going to 1st, he's going to
Yeah.
4th, and I was just like, I ain't got nobody,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know. So
Yeah, I guess.
I showed
That
up
was-
to
Yeah, that was nice because I mean we rode in on the same airplane to Hawaii. We all
Yeah.
got picked up on the same van. We got
Right.
through reception. We got picked up by our squadron commander, all taken to the same company
Yeah.
or troop
Yeah.
area and
well, you
divided
know,
through.
like for me, you know, when I reported Fort Bliss, right away that night we had dinner together.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and that's
well, that's
yeah.
what I was
Yeah,
saying. Like when I
you
got
know,
to
yeah.
Carson, like we all stayed. Me, Rock, Reeves, Parker, like we all stayed in the same room,
Yeah.
like in the same reception, like barracks,
yeah,
same room, all 4 bunks, you know, whatever. We were like, oh shit, we're good.
yeah.
And then we all get orders, and we're all going to different brigades, and I was just like,
What about me?
what the fuck,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And
this
then
sucks.
I got the 2nd Brigade, and I was by myself, and like, I'm not gonna lie, I got fucking hazed like a motherfucker because I was a brand new lone private.
Yeah.
The last guy to come from basic training before me was 16 weeks prior.
Oh Jesus.
So like that dude is the same rank as me, and he's already looking at me like fresh meat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It ain't me no more.
You know?
That's like with my hazing, you know, me and JW, we did it together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So I got my shit pushed in a lot on my own,
Yeah.
and then before deployment, I already made bonds with the guys, whatever. But before deployment, we got that influx of like brand new privates, and now I found myself like on the
Yeah.
oh shit,
That was
this one's
still
on.
Did it die?
No, unless it's done.
That's okay.
Well,
Talk louder over there.
you're on.
And
Yeah. Well, I have one more question. So, you finished Final FTX, or your last training exercise. So you're like in that week or so before graduation.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Like now you're graduating. You passed.
You're done.
They're done.
You're
Yeah,
done.
and it's like
Now you just got to do the administrative shit.
Right, get out. Well, like I say, you feel good, like, fuck yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
You go back to that mental, I did it, I accomplished, what I set out to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I already started thinking about like, all right, I get to this duty station now. Well, now what am I getting into?
Yeah. Well, maybe that's something we talk about next time.
Yeah.
Like you're out of basic training, going to your duty station.
Yeah.
What's that?
Those feelings, because I get, because when I walked in, and I had my papers, and I didn't know where the fuck to go.
He's ever had his papers.
Yeah. They finally gave it to him. I'm American.
Yeah.
But you're going like, where the fuck do I go?
Yeah.
Give your papers. All right, I gotta go to this building. All right, I gotta find it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The difference though is that you didn't have a cell phone, so like.
No, you had to go walk around and ask people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no GPS. We had a map of Fort Bliss with all the buildings on it. That was about it.
I guess that ends this.
Yeah.
We'll find a topic for next time.
Yeah, sounds good.
If you liked basic bullshit, give us a fucking comment and let us know.
Tell us your stories, your funny stories.
Yeah, and if there's something that we didn't cover that you want us to hit on, like we're going to pick a different topic and move on. But if there's something that you saw or something that you want us to talk about more, let us know, and maybe I'm sure we got a fucking story on it.
Oh yeah, I mean, hell yeah, share your stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we want to hear y'all stories. I mean,
yeah.
And I was saying, if you're like, hey, well, you guys didn't hit on this or you didn't hit on that, what was that experience? Or if you're going to basic for the first time and you want to buy,
I forgot it was 1989.
Yeah. Or like I said, if you're going,
even born.
Neither was I.
Was 4 years from being born.
Hey, he was already full stroking, and me and you
had
a thought.
No, my dad was in the Air Force at that point in time. My mom and my dad. That's where they met in England.
Oh, that's
England.
so cute. Yeah. You're a military baby.
I am a military baby.
But yeah,
were you born in England or
no? I was.
They were right back.
He didn't get that lucky.
My mom's from here. My dad's from Wyoming. And they met in England, and then my dad ended up moving here. They had my sister.
Could you imagine though if his birth certificate was in England and he put on like that fake British accent?
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Girls would be like, oh my god.
I can't do it.
I can't do it. Nope.
But yeah.
Chicks love accents, and I ain't got it.
But like I was saying, if you're going to basic for the first time and you have questions, let us know. We'll try to do a short video and answer like your basic training questions.
Yeah.
If you have something that we didn't hit on, let us know. We'll do another video.
Funny stories. If you got a funny story.
Yeah, or if you got a story, let us know, and maybe it's something that we can
read some
read and laugh about and talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for watching. And if you got anything else, let us know.
Take it easy.
All right.